plays games with Steve.
Let's sort some things out.
Sorry for the wait, boss, but I managed to gather some information.
Took you long enough.
Things at the station were pretty hectic, but I managed to get some info. Let me fill you in.
Thanks. The floor is yours.
We're on the ground. A total of 3 mysterious deaths were confirmed in the area, including the one in this park. So let's start with that one. The young man we found here. His name is Tunpei. He's been identified as Shogo Okie, 25 years old, a regular old office worker who worked around here. He died of his asphyxiation due to water in the lungs. He drowned.
He drowned? In the middle of the park? That's not possible. It's gotta be a curse we're dealing with here.
About that, boss. Isn't this park associated with one of those 7 mysteries too?
Yeah, totally. I totally remember. Kichiboy Park, right?
Yeah. Canal?
I don't remember.
The Whispering Canal. Yeah, it is the Whispering Canal.
Tis it?
Yeah.
It's true, LeFou.
That's right. The Whispering Canal. Good job, Steve. Does seem like there'd be a link between a canal and death by drowning, don't you think?
Sharp thinking, Stevie-O. You're starting to get or Yurkio. You're starting to get the hang of this. So let's assume they're related. What's next?
For that, the body of a woman was found behind a residential complex in Kamezawa. The victim has been identified as Tawako Hayashi, 29 years old. She was an office worker who lived on her own in the area. I don't think
we've ever seen a Tawako.
We have not.
Okay.
As for the cause of death, well...
Yes.
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 The entirety of her body was crushed by some kind of strong...
Entirety's her? Entirety's her.
Entirety? Yeah. Didn't I say that?
No, I was in titles. I was doing in titles.
You threw up a groove. The entirety of her body was crushed by... Entirety's?
Entirety's her? Entirety's her.
The entirety of her body was crushed by some kind of strong Amazonian mind.
Yes.
No murder weapon was discovered in the area, but considering the way she was found, we were looking for something large, flat, and heavy that could have crushed her in one fell swoop.
Hang on. Are you saying she was stepped on? Meaning...
Yeah, the big Monty Python foot.
Which one steps on people? Which one be steppy? Let's see.
Him checking AO3.
Yeah, big steppy. That's the music one. That's the fire one, probably, or something like that. That's the fire one.
That's us. That's us. That's us. Drum. The foot.
This one. Foot washing mansion.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Crushing is the foot washing mansion's modus operandi. Operandi? It was operandi?
Operandi, yeah.
Yeah.
Operandi?
Operandi.
Operandi, operandi. Operandi, opero.
The place the body was discovered is also known to be related to the 7 mysteries.
Then is this Namagaki's doing? Shit, I knew he'd used it. Judging by the amount of soul dregs, the victim was just a regular person, not a curse bearer. Guess we should report this to Paranormal Affairs.
Got it. And as for the 3rd victim, he was identified as Kohei Jinochi, 32, a teacher at Komagata High I was ready to say school.
Yeah.
At Komagata High. He was found in the school's courtyard. Cause of death appears to be external trauma from a fall or heavy blow. The impact crushed his arms and legs. Oh, jeez. I didn't even see the transition. Since he was found in the middle of the courtyard, he couldn't have fallen from the gymnasium or the main building.
A teacher dying at school. And not just any school. Komagata houses one of the 7 mysteries. a lot of tests here. Okay.
Komagata High.
There you are.
I don't remember. There's too many of these. Oh, I don't know.
I'm just gonna look for the one that's like the creepy woman. It's not that. Not the clappers.
Fool's possession, that's right.
Right. It's where the fool's possession is supposed to be. It's too big of a coincidence. We can't rule out the possibility that this death was also the work of a curse. I see. Either way, it seems all 3 victims can be tied to the 7 mysteries.
There's probably a curse bearer at the center of it all pulling the strings. But you've got a point. All these strange deaths do point in one direction.
That's right. And Hajime's case wasn't all that different either.
He also died of mysterious causes in a place connected to the 7 mysteries. Problem is that the timing doesn't match up. He died before the curses were activated.
Could he have been hit by a different curse? One that didn't have anything to do with the 7 mysteries?
That's a thought, but if that were the case, we'd be dealing with a powerful practitioner, one who could pull off a curse like that without using a curse stone. There aren't many people in this day and age who could do something like that.
Oh, really? I see. I don't know too much about that stuff.
I'd be more surprised if you did.
That was all just that. Jesus Christ, these guys.
Hey, you want to talk some more?
Yeah.
At the moment, we only know the identity of 4 curse bearers, you included. Yutaru Namagaki had the foot-washing mansion, and Hideki Araishi had the ever-burning lantern. Got both of their curse stones. Then there's Nejima, who claims he has the one-sided reed.
Yeah, that about sums it up.
We better figure out who the remaining 5 are quick. How could we go about looking for them?
There's no point in searching blindly without a lead. Let's focus on other things for now. Tracking down Nejima may lead us to the other curse bearers, too. Either way, he should be our top priority. He could do some real damage if we don't get him. I also want to look a little more into Yoshimi. I've got a feeling there's some connection there.
Aye, boss. Sounds like we got our work cut out for us.
Okay.
But not our talking.
Mercifully short, that one. All right.
I asked around Sumida's Community Safety Bureau when Yoshimi was stationed, where Yoshimi was stationed. Seems like he was investigating the apparent suicide of a girl named Michio Shiraishi.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, I heard about that.
He was trying to determine whether it really was a suicide. Looking into the height of the building, the force of the impact, her wounds, all that. He must have suspected some kind of foul play, because he ordered a full investigation. But it had already been deemed a suicide, and his superiors told him not to go stirring things up.
Huh. What was the evidence?
Well, according to the report I found on his desk last night, the body was found at the foot of a building, a ways from the road. There was no evidence of vehicular collision, so it was ruled a suicide, but...
But he thought there was more to it?
Yes. A truck or other flat-faced vehicle traveling at high speeds could have inflicted similar damage. In other words, sometimes a traffic accident can look an awful lot like a fall.
So there is a chance that it wasn't a suicide. But what a terrible way to go.
What a terrible night for a curse. There were no brake marks on the road, meaning it would have been a hit and run. The vehicle would have hit her without slowing down at all.
This is turning into quite the grisly case. But the vehicle couldn't have come out from a collision like that unscathed.
Exactly. So I asked the traffic bureau to keep an eye out for any vehicles with frontal damage. But I haven't heard back from them yet. I don't think they're looking very hard.
So we've got no proof. That said, if it was a traffic accident rather than a suicide, it's possible that someone silenced Yoshimi because he was on the verge of discovering the truth.
That's true. Think the driver is the one who did him in?
Not quite. Yoshimi had already talked to forensics in the traffic bureau, right? His death wouldn't have covered things up.
Right on that. Even if the suicide was a cover-up for a hit and run, doesn't seem like enough reason to kill a cop. Oh, that's right. Unrelated, but I got something else too. I managed to get a hold of Michio Shiraishi's address. Yoshimi went there a bunch over the course of his investigation. Might be a good idea for us to drop by too.
Good thinking. Hopefully it'll give us some more leads. Alright, let's move on to the next topic. Talkin' Cops! It's the Talkin' Cops episode. Talkin' Cops.
Talking Cops. Hey, so welcome to our podcast. We're talking cops. Me and Susumi here. I call him Boss. How's it going today, Boss?
Today's episode is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Anyway.
I was going to use whatever you said to segue into an ad. That reminds me of Sherry's Berries. Remember the girl Yoshimi met with the day he died? One Hitomi Okuda? Community Safety didn't have any contact information for her on hand.
Not even an address?
Well, they had her parents' information, but when I called, they said they hadn't heard from her in a month. Lots of family issues, from the sound of it. They even said they didn't want anything to do with her anymore. That said, she still goes to school once in a while, so we must be able to find her there.
Not sure we really have the time for a stakeout right now. But she could be a key witness. Can't we have Community Safety track her down for us?
We could ask, but it might be tricky to get it done today. For starters, Komagata High School is closed today.
Ah, because of the teacher that died?
That's right.
Alright. But if it's not something we can do today, we may have to forget about it. Let's move on then.
More talking?
Sure.
HQ has mobilized a search unit for Nejima. But so far, we haven't received any word.
Guessing he wasn't at home or at work?
About that. Apparently he vacated his last known address a week ago.
You serious? So we have no idea where he lives?
It gets worse. I checked in with the factory he was working at. They told me he was only there for a month before he quit.
Hold on a second. You're telling me nobody caught that?
Well, I had the same thought, so I spoke to his probation officer. Turns out he'd been doing house visits and interviews, but never bothered checking on his workplace. He also said he lost track of Nejima when he moved to a new place.
Jeez, that's just sloppy.
I've heard that they're giving parole to just about anyone these days because they're running out of room in the prisons. Which also means there aren't enough probation officers to go around. Dude's probably overworked.
So Nejima got to fuck about unsupervised. God damn it. That asshole's annoyingly good at faking remorse, or insanity, whatever the situation calls for. Back when I arrested him all those years ago, just talking to him left a bad taste in my mouth.
He's probably hiding under a false name, which will make it hard to track him down. That explains why he so brazenly made contact.
That asshole. He's mocking us.
Well, for now, the paperwork to circulate his name and mugshot is being filed.
That's gonna take way too long. We only have until dusk.
You didn't want to get...
What?
Oh, sorry. What's the DS game? Hotel Dusk?
Hotel Dusk,
Yeah.
yes.
I thought it was almost like Until Dusk, which is confusing now with Until Dawn. It's like, oh, you only...
We need that Until Dawn Hotel Dusk crossover.
We only have Until Dusk. It's like, you don't want to get any more DS games? Just that one? Okay. Well, looking at these deaths, it seems like many of the curse bearers acted last night.
Well, we can't rule out that there were more killings from which the bodies haven't been found.
Yikes. I hadn't thought of that.
But there is one silver lining. Judging by my own curse stone, it seems that the curses can't be activated while the sun's out.
Oh, that's great news. So basically, we're safe during the daytime?
Exactly. It's also likely why Nejima gave us till dusk.
Ah, he must have known the curse stones couldn't be used during the day.
Either way, we got till nightfall to settle this. It's time we flushed out the other curse bearers.
Aye aye, boss. Let's do this. But first... got some information about Yoshimi's fiancee from Community Safety. Her name is Mayu
Chozawa.
Yeah, Mayu Shizawa, 27 years old. She works as a beautician in the area. 27 years old. How old was the guy?
What? What? Yoshimi?
Yeah.
I don't think he was that old. Why?
Oh, it doesn't say their ages, right?
No.
No. That said something like he was like 31. And I'm like, his girlfriend since high school, eh? Look, I even managed to get a picture of her. She sure is a beauty. But...
oh boy, here it comes. But what?
Community Safety hasn't been able to contact her since Yoshimi died. Not by phone or at her house. In other words, no response. Dead silence.
There it is. Can't things just be easy for once?
Oh, okay.
It's definitely starting to look suspect. A crime of passion, perhaps?
It's fairly common for people to be killed by a lover or a spouse. But Yoshimi was well liked, and they'd been together for over 10 years.
You never know. Things could be different behind closed doors.
I guess so.
But we'll have to consider the opposite scenario, too. It could be that the same person who was out for Yoshimi is after his fiancée as well. She could be in danger.
You're right. Either way, she's important to the case. HQ already has people looking for her. We'll know as soon as she's found. Speaking of Nejima,
Yeah?
did you manage to reach your daughter? It'd be best to put her in protective custody as soon as possible.
Not yet. I can't reach her. They called, but she's not picking up. Wasn't home when they went to the house, either.
That's not good. That means she never came home? And why weren't you the one trying to reach her?
Shut up. I don't have her contact info, all right?
Damn, she really doesn't trust you, huh?
Either way, I told her mother that it was an emergency and that we'd send an officer to find her and get her to safety. She was real reluctant, but I got her to agree. I guess this is kind of my version of the kissy face.
No, I guess that explains why you got divorced. But if you, her former father, can't find her, how the hell did Nejima do it?
Nejimi?
Nejima.
Yeah.
Former, huh? That cuts deep.
That's my cute little nickname for him. Yeah. Yikes. Sorry. Just kind of slipped out.
No, Nejimi-tan.
Anyway, I suspect it has something to do with his curse echo.
Back on topic already, huh?
He said his curse could kill a lot of people in a short time. It may even allow him to act from a distance.
I see.
The one-sided read. What was that story about again?
Something about a man stalking a woman who goes insane and chops her up.
Ah, right. One of the more gruesome of the 7 mysteries.
Yeah, it's really gross. As for Nejima's whereabouts, all we could do is throw more people at it till we find something. I'll check in with HQ frequently to see if they got any updates. And that's about it. Shall we continue our investigation?
No, let's keep doing talking cops.
We'll go to Komagata High School to look into Hitomi Okuda, or Michio Hirashi's house to find out more about her.
Let's move out.
Saxophone.
Okay.
Oh, you broke it.
Whoa. Okay.
Oh.
Interesting.
Okay.
However,
That's green.
I want to see why this is not. Maybe we picked the wrong place.
What's this? Resume.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh.
All right. Let's ride the bridge.
Come on, Yako. Take her to the bridge.
They're just standing there. It's gonna go to black. It's gonna tell us that we're just going back. Okay, well.
That is pretty whack.
Wow. I guess I'll just pick trial and error it. If that's what it is, it's kind of stupid.
Stupid.
Okay, how about the candy shop? Let's go get everyone's favorite candy bar, Butterfinger.
In top 5.
Okay, this looks a little more promising.
Yeah. Oh no.
Nope.
This might just be
I wonder if it's something that we have to just go back to later.
Yeah, maybe we just don't have. But I just want to try them all.
Gotta try them all. Gotta try them all. Yeah.
Because we've not done these, right? And the school doesn't seem like it because it's closed.
Right.
Nope.
Neat. And we can try the school, I guess. I have a feeling because
tonight's gonna be a good night.
Yeah. Since the detectives are talking about checking out Shiraishi's house, I wonder if that's gonna like. Nah, that feels more like a Zero Escape kind of thing, where we have info and then we could go back.
Never fucking mind. Time for me.
That's gonna be tough.
It's tough to be a bug. Good morning, ma'am. How you feeling?
I'm fine. I hope we can make good progress today.
How's your curse stone looking?
I haven't felt anything from it since sunrise.
Interesting. It's possible that its powers can only be unleashed at night, then.
That aside, why are you so late this morning?
There are unfortunately some things that can't be investigated while the world slumbers. But I did get some research done in what limited time I had.
Very well. Let's talk.
By the way, there's something I wanted to talk to you about.
And what's that?
Our current plan is to steal a curse stone that has already absorbed soul dregs, but I'm wondering if it would suffice to not steal, but instead negotiate with the curse bearer and have them use the rod for our purposes?
Oh? I mean, I suppose that could accomplish the same, but do you think it's possible?
So long as we offer compensation, it may prove much easier than you'd expect.
Compensation?
Cash, for instance. That wouldn't be off the table for a family as rich as the Shigimas, wouldn't it? Or would it?
Of course. Why, any amount would be fine if it'd get the job done. I won't let monetary matters lead me to regrets the way it did back with the ransom.
Okay, with that option on the table, let's figure out our strategy.
Do you have a curse bearer with whom we could negotiate in mind?
Not yet. Surprisingly, it seems the other curse bearers haven't been that proactive about collecting soul dregs. Did you see the news this morning?
No, I haven't.
Overnight, 3 mysterious deaths were reported in this area. They've yet to announce the identities of the bodies found. But they've been nicknamed the Honjo serial killings. It's garnered quite some attention on the streets.
Oh my. Only 3?
That's what I thought. Even if the victims were curse bearers, just 1 or 2 wouldn't be enough soul dregs. And for what those curse stones are capable of, a mere 3 victims seems a little on the low side. With this little activity all through the night, the curse bearers must be a cautious bunch.
What's holding them back? Are we not all after the power of resurrection?
There may still be some undiscovered victims, but it doesn't seem like anyone has gathered enough soul dregs yet. We might have to set up some bait to spur them into action.
And then we offer them the deal.
I learned something new about the criminal involved with the kidnapping. It concerns the serial killings. There was a body found at Komagata High School. The person was identified as a school teacher. His name was Kohei Jinochi.
Do you think he was a curse bearer?
Not sure. It's possible. But regardless, this means the two people who knew the truth about the kidnapping are both dead.
Just when we were getting somewhere.
It isn't enough to make me give up, of course. Still, we don't know anything about Michio Shirashi's residence. It'd be wise to pay it a visit.
Understood.
In addition to the 3 victims associated with the Honjo serial killings, there's Michio Shirashi, who reportedly committed suicide, and the police officer who died at the former Yasuda Gardens. If strange deaths continue occurring like so, they're bound to inspire strange rumors.
But those last 2 have nothing to do with the 7 mysteries, no?
It's true, both occurred a week before this accursed situation began. Still, it cannot be ruled out. It's possible that the Mastermind was involved even with those killings.
How?
What if there were preliminary steps to awakening the 7 mysteries' curses? Can we really assume they're unrelated just because the timing doesn't match up? Or rather, the police officer's death is so baffling that it'd be easier if it were connected to these curses. The victim wasn't the type to be caught off guard easily.
You seem to know a lot about this.
I suppose we weren't strangers. My personal feelings might be wrapped up in this one too.
I see. If you were to investigate this matter more, you might get a lead on the Mastermind.
You're right. If we wish to focus on the Mastermind's identity, this would be a fine starting point. We might even discover more deaths related to the curses on the way. We should pay attention to today's news. None of the curse bearers seem very proactive. I wonder if this situation could be what the Mastermind who kicked it all off intended.
Now that's an interesting theory. You think there's someone behind this all?
You mentioned hearing an agonized voice telling you to kill when you Jesus Christ! Telling you to kill when you first obtained the curse stone. That doesn't sound like a coincidence to me. Someone agitated the curses in this area on purpose, and they are likely after the rite of resurrection as well.
So you're thinking this person is not one of the curse bearers?
You've got a sharp mind, ma'am. Though it might seem obvious for the Mastermind to become a curse bearer and collect soul dregs if they were after the ride. This would be very risky, since as a curse bearer, they themselves would become a target.
So, it'd actually be more convenient for them if the curse bearers moved less aggressively.
That's right. But despite that, they've been inciting the curse bearers to commit murders. Why? Let's consider this. What if the Mastermind isn't trying to collect soul dregs themselves?
You mean their intention was also to steal the souls while the other curse bearers compete with each other from the start?
Sitting back and observing from the sidelines is the safer course of action. Which is why I figured it best for us to attempt the same strategy.
So, how should we do it?
There's still reason to suspect the Mastermind could be a curse bearer themselves. To be honest, I want to keep my distance from whoever it is. There's no telling what kind of power they might possess. Whether our aim is to negotiate or steal, we'll have to outpace the Mastermind in making contact with the other curse bearers.
How do you suppose we do so?
At this point, all we can do is search.
If there's a Mastermind inciting the curse bearers to collect soul dregs, can we be sure there even is a rite of resurrection?
Good question. The rite could be nothing but a myth fabricated to spur the curse bearers into action. Seeing it might be for naught. Do you want to give up, ma'am?
Never.
Understood. After all, we'll never know the truth unless we see it for ourselves. But we'll do it without using the curses ourselves. Ourselves. By the way, I met a few people who seemed like potential curse bearers last night. I did some investigating into all of them, but I only managed to get detailed information on 2.
You're quick. I suppose that's to be expected from an investigator extraordinaire.
I appreciate the flattery.
Hoo-ha.
First, there's Ayame Tono, the girl we talked to before, though she isn't a curse bearer herself. She's a student attending T University of Art. She currently lives alone in an apartment near Midoricho.
Yeah.
Midoricho.
Think like Midori, like
Midoricho.
Yeah.
Midoricho Park.
You even determined her address? You're not one to be underestimated, Mr. Investigator Extraordinaire.
I called every single university with ukiyo-e in the curriculum pretending to be her parent. I went around to check on her place on the way here. It doesn't seem like she returned home last night. I'm worried she might have run into some trouble.
Him calling the school's like, hey, this is her pappy. What's her major?
Hey, it's me, her pappy.
I didn't read the line.
Oh, it's fine.
Didn't you attempt to follow her last night?
I'm embarrassed to say, but I couldn't. She shook me. I couldn't keep track of her.
And here I thought you were an investigator extraordinaire.
I'd like to learn more about her, but it would take some time. She's planning to steal the curse stones just like us. It's best we act carefully around her. Next is the tall man who was dressed in black. I met him near Kinshicho. He stood out with the way he dressed. I managed to get some good information from him.
Impressive.
What can I say except you're welcome? He worked as a secretary. Oh, it's Evil Phoenix. To Hihaku Soap's chairwoman. I believe his name is Takumi Yumioka. The Hihaku Soap's headquarters and factories are both located in Honjo, correct?
Yes, they've been here for a while, but it's only in the past 10 years that the company has shown significant growth.
I remember seeing the chairwoman on the news a few years back. She seems to be very shrewd. With the increase in sales, I assumed she'd want her factories running at full capacity. But with the harsh restrictions against industrial waste, a lot of the factories with older equipment had to shut down.
That's right. Even 10 years ago, there were many complaints about chemical plants dumping waste into the river.
Most companies back then were more concerned with making a profit than protecting the environment. I wonder what a man working for such a company would have been up to in the middle of the night. On the way here, I stopped by the company's headquarters, but they hadn't started for the day. I should have better luck later.
Let's hope you will. Perhaps they're interested in seeing if the right would be beneficial for their product research into beauty and skincare?
Now that's an interesting thought. It's the fucking Richter hour. Jesus Christ.
More about the Care Bears?
I ran into one more suspicious young man last night.
The one seemed to be out collecting soul dregs, right?
Indeed. I couldn't get a good look at him, though, and I couldn't gather enough intel to properly identify him.
Well, that's a shame.
But I can make an educated guess.
Oh?
You know that researcher who discovered the ancient text on the Rite of Resurrection? The one that lives near here? His name is Hideki Araishi, and the man I met was very similar in stature.
Oh my, even he is involved? How awfully suspect. Concerning his background, couldn't he be the one who initiated the whole affair?
I think it's possible, yes. Which is why I decided to refrain from making contact with him for the time being. Safety first.
Understandable.
Of course, I want to learn more, but this isn't the right time to focus on him. Jesus Christ. I prefer to ascertain who else is a curse bearer. First, I'll return to Hihaku Soaps to see that man in black. Their headquarters are down on South Wadagesui Street. Well, that's all I have to report finally. Things shall we continue. What do you want to do? If you still can't use the curse stone, taking a walk should be a fine place to start.
Right. Let's go together. I want to see what's going on for myself.
In that case, I'll trust you to decide on where we should go, ma'am. They're gonna link arms like in Wizard of Oz. We're off to see the soap factory. Okay.
And then who else would they pick up? Would they pick up our favorite character? Be like,
Oh, I wish I missed that guy.
are you a curse bearer?
Where is he? My favorite guy. Let's go to the street.
All right. Taking it to the street. Hi there.
The Hihaku Soap's headquarters are on the other side of South Wadagesui Street. They were closed when I visited this morning, but it appears things are up and running now.
All right, well, we'll check out some.
You want to talk to me? You want to talk to me some more?
Do you have any more information about the curse bearers? Do I?
Oh, do I? Let me talk to you for 2 hours. All right. See you tomorrow.